So every once in a while I see a video and it's like so much work has been put into it. It's 15 plus minutes long. It's so many different shots and camera angles and all this stuff, and it's shot in 4K, and there's a lot of money in the equipment, right? It's just high effort levels. And for whatever reason, I hate to say it, but I don't really like them. It's not to say I don't appreciate these videos. I mean, I dislike even more videos where people just kind of like post legitimately raw runs. I don't like raw runs. I think you could at least edit a little bit of B-roll into something to make it a little bit more entertaining. It's honestly kind of a waste of footage if you ask me to just post raw runs. But I don't know, these high quality videos sometimes just don't hit the way that I think they mean to. Now, when you are filming with such expensive equipment, it's very high effort looking, right? It looks like you put a lot of effort into it, and that's good. I'm glad you're putting effort into your videos. But sometimes these videos, maybe it's because of the editing style, but they have this air of self-importance, and they're kind of saying like, look how epic this is, that what we did, right? Is this not the best? And I'm not sure if people consciously try to do that, but sometimes the editing choices kind of put them in this spot. One common theme that I do see with a lot of these videos is that the person who is directing or filming is not actually a skater themselves. Whenever this happens, you can kind of see the movement of where the director was trying to go with it. I mean, if you're outside of the world of downhill skateboarding, you see it as this extreme sport, you see it as very reckless and dangerous, and you might try to capture that vibe in the video itself because it looks really dangerous to you. And don't get me wrong, it is dangerous, but overall danger isn't necessarily what we are looking for as skaters in a video. Most of the time, non-skaters that are filming or editing, their editing style seems like it's geared towards either like a beginner downhill skater or somebody who's just not a downhill skater at all. And skateboarders, since the beginning of skateboarding, don't like it when there's somebody who's an outsider making their way into our community. We know that while downhill skateboarding is exciting and it's cool to us, that it's not as cool as a lot of times these videos make them out to be. We know it's just a group of friends getting together on a weekend to skate down a hill. There's not really any like major mission or theme elements to the day. It's just it's a skate sesh, right? And so when a video tries to make it more than just a skate sesh, sometimes it looks really arrogant and not very genuine. And this footage might be pretty cool to watch if you're like a beginner or if you're not really in skateboarding at all, because I think these videos kind of are almost geared towards those people. But I want it to be about me, right? Please make these videos for me. I don't like them like this, right? In all seriousness. What I have been liking, I've been liking Ryder Malangoski. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but Ryder's videos have been really cool lately. And if you haven't been following his YouTube channel, which I kind of checked the numbers, he's kind of low on subscribers. It's kind of surprising. Y'all sleeping. Ryder's videos are shot with super low quality camera gear. Might be like a VX1000, that'd be actually kind of fancy in a vintage way. The thing that's catching a lot of attention with his videos is the camera choice. Footage quality is quite low. It's not a high pixel count, you're definitely not shooting 4K, 1080 might be even pushing it. And the colors are super washed out, and it has this very vintagey look to it. Now, you can't help but mention that it's got some of the best skaters in the world in it, especially in the world of freeride. You're looking at the North Carolina scene, famous for its extremely steep hills and really good riders because of it. But it's really the editing style and the cameras that are being used here. Because everything is shot with this simple camera that is handheld, it kind of gives off this feeling of just like a day at the sesh with the boys. It kind of gives off this casual vibe to it that anybody could be filming it. It doesn't require a gimbal or even a follow car mount. It's literally all stationary handheld footage that is just somebody standing at the corner and filming. There's some zoom shots here and there, but it's overall pretty simple. And because of this, it feels like one of us, right? It feels like somebody who's just like at the sesh skating in a more casual way. The editing is done well too. There's not much fluff in any of the videos, and the videos are kept to a pretty brief length. So you feel like that 1.5 to 3 minutes of footage is all pretty high quality, and there's nothing extra there to make the video longer than it needs to be. And the music choices are pretty good too. I think the first time I ever thought of getting a camera like this was from the Get That podcast with Jack Maine. He said something about just getting a really simple camera and just filming your friends, right? And I thought I like that idea. And I already had kind of my fancier camera. It's not that fancy anyways now, but it's a DSLR. It's a Canon 7D, which is kind of ancient technology at this point in the DSLR range. But I had that for follow filming and stuff like that. But I wanted to get something else just to get this grainy footage. So I hopped on Facebook Marketplace and I scooped up one of these guys. This is a Sony Handycam DCR SX44. I don't know. But it is a really cheap little camera that I was able to get on Facebook Marketplace. 30 bucks, right? And I got it with the camera bag that comes with it, with this little over-the-shoulder strap. It had the power cable. It had the hook up to your computer cable. Everything that you would need for 30 bucks. Some of the big pros to this camera is how easy it is to use. All you gotta do is open it up, turn it on, and hit record. That's it. There is a zoom function, but it's so ergonomic and simple, everybody who I hand this to can figure out how to use it with no explanation whatsoever. It is such a simple camera that anybody can use it at the sesh. If I were to give somebody my bigger DSLR camera, it can become a little intimidating. People don't want to be responsible for breaking it. I always hand it to somebody and say, this was 30 bucks, like, I'm not worried about it if you break it. Don't even stress. Because I'm not. I'm truly not stressed out. If somebody were to break this and I had to get a new one, it's not a big deal. There's so many of these cameras as well on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and things like that, because in the mid-2000s, a video camera was a pretty common household item for a family. But with the introduction of smartphones, people stopped using them because it was way easier to share video footage that was filmed right from your phone. So there's so many of these out there that are basically obsolete, and there's almost no resale value to them outside of what I'm talking about here. So get yourself one so cheap. The only thing I would say about these, if you want to maximize the easy factor of this camera, or a camera like it, you want to get one that shoots digitally. I know there's cool older cameras that shoot in like VHS, but to be honest with you, I would not want to go through all of the trouble of transitioning different file types between things to finally get to edit them. All I have to do is upload these files into my computer and I can immediately start editing those files. It's so easy. So all videos that are shot in anything above 1080p are bad? No, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. I mean, I've got love for those too, but it just happens that a lot of times videos like that come across as a little bit self-important, or I can tell that they're not shot by somebody from the community, and we don't like that. We don't like outsiders trying to get in on our thing, right? So, with that being said, get yourself a little cheap camera, film your friends, make good videos.